Welcome to the Geek 101 podcast, episode 236, 2020 in Geek 101. Meow? I'm Ariel Rada.
And I'm Andy Bowman.
And today we are going to look ahead at the 2020 films and TV shows. But before that, we are going to just have a quick news segment and talk about the new Mutants trailer that dropped as we record this on January 6th. Andy, what are your thoughts on this trailer?
Well, Ariel, wouldn't it be appropriate to do this conversation later?
Sure. You know what? We will push that trailer talk to when New Mutants does come up. Although there is a chance that this movie, there's some people are still skeptical about whether or not this movie is going to come out. So let's go on ahead and move to our main topic here. We're going to go in chronological order through the films in 2020 that we will or may cover on Geek 101 podcast.
Oh, no, Ariel, we are committing to covering each and every single one of these episodes.
Maybe you are committing to covering each and every one of these episodes. Actually, I'm looking at the list here, okay? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. 23 movies. I only see maybe 2 movies that just might not be worth the time. I think in July, if Ghostbusters Afterlife just comes out and everyone is just like, oh, it's terrible, maybe we don't watch that. And I also think Samaritan, the movie that you mentioned that comes out in December, I don't know, like, if that is terrible, Andy, and there's no, and it's not like a big budget thing that we have to cover, and it's not based on anything that exists, I don't know if we have to cover that either.
Okay.
Most of the other movies, though, are big enough or niche enough that it deserves our attention. Or they're going to be disasters.
Yeah. Look, I'm committing 100% to covering each and every single piece of culture that we talk about today.
No, there's a lot of TV that I personally will not commit to.
But I will. Don't worry, fans. If you hear this episode is called 2020 in Geek 101. If you hear this, you will get some form of review on this podcast if this culture is mentioned at all.
All right, but let's get to our list here. We're going in chronological order, and the first movie that is going to come out in February is the Birds of Prey movie. Now, Andy, I'm a little upset with you. Birds of Prey is not the full title of this movie.
You're right. Let me go ahead and recite the full title of this movie. Birds of Prey and the Fantabulous Emancipation of One Harley Quinn.
Okay. We've had trailers, we've had plenty of marketing, we've had pre-existing movies that lead up to this. What are your thoughts on Birds of Prey?
Once we found out that it's going to have an R rating, I think they might actually do this well. We have a female director in Kathy Yan. There's no Jared Leto in sight. You also have Mary Elizabeth Winstead. So her playing Huntress, that, Ramona Flowers herself, that's big points for me. You've got Black Canary, and of course, Ewan McGregor as Black Mask. I'm kind of looking forward to this.
Okay, I certainly don't think it's a negative. For me, and this is something else we're going to do in this episode, we are going to maybe predict what might win our Geek 101 awards at the end of the year, at the end of 2020. One of those awards is most surprising, right? Usually a pleasant surprise, something we don't think will be great, ends up being better than expected. I think for me, maybe not for you, for me, Birds of Prey is a front runner for this most surprising award.
Yeah, I fully agree with that. I'm really, really optimistic about this movie, and the fact that as of recording this, it comes out in exactly 1 month. I'm excited.
Yeah. The next movie on the list is also a potential winner for our most surprising, and that is the amazing movie we quoted in the beginning of the episode, the Sonic the Hedgehog film coming out on Valentine's Day. Go see this with your loved ones, folks.
Right. Me and Ariel are going to have a date, and we're going to go see this. I'm traveling all the way to New Jersey to go see this with him.
Oh, that'd be a terrible waste of time and money. I think that this movie, it's very clearly a kids movie, and I think if it knows that it's a kids movie and it doesn't try to be that in between kids and adults movie, that's something like the Power Rangers movies and the Ninja Turtles movies tried being, right? The Michael Bay produced Ninja Turtle movie, which was god awful. Then I think this could be very successful.
Okay. Ariel, I'm actually going to just go ahead and say the closest thing that I think this movie could be.
Okay.
This is another Lego movie.
Oh, I don't know about that. I don't know.
I think that the level of difficulty is there, right? The ceiling could be very high with Jim Carrey as Dr. Robotnik.
Yeah, but
That alone, man.
when's the last time Jim
It could be
Carrey
good.
did something that you found of value?
Ariel, actually last year when he did Kidding.
Yeah, but I've never even heard of that.
Well, it was a Showtime TV show about a Mr. Rogers-like character.
And I did hear about that, but it's not. It's not. When
It's not funny.
Oh, jeez. When he's trying to be Jim Carrey, it hasn't worked in a long time. And the Lego movie, we should have known it was going to be good because the people behind the success of that movie are Lord and Miller. And Jeff Fowler is the director of this movie, and I have no idea what he is. His highest film credits are Gopher Broke in 2004 and A Gentleman's Duel in 2006. I just
Look, that's an award-winning cast right there, right? Or award-winning history. Gopher Broke, is that a movie about a gopher that is broke?
Yes.
It's
literally
really?
about a gopher.
Ha. Okay. Thank you, Ariel. This year was supposed to start out positively, and now you've made me negative about our second movie.
There's plenty to be positive about. I don't think that's an apt comparison. The Lego movie, right? I think perhaps a more apt comparison would be a worse Detective Pikachu.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I was just taking out the February release date, but no, you got it. Detective Pikachu.
It's just like the only reason Detective Pikachu I think worked for plenty of people is like the cool world building that they had part of it with all the different types of Pokemon. Anything in regards to like the main plot and the main character, while visually were kind of cool, weren't really all that interesting. I think wasn't really all that funny. Was kind of in between the kid movie, adult movie. This looks like it could be exactly that type of movie.
Yeah. Okay, I agree fully. We will find out on Valentine's Day, Ariel, when I show up at your doorstep with the flowers.
All right. The next movie on our list comes out in the middle of March, and that is a adaptation of a Valiant comic, the first movie we are getting from the Valiant comic book universe, and that is Vin Diesel's Bloodshot. Andy, your thoughts?
This could be great, or this could very easily end up being the bottom of the barrel for the year.
Okay, I have a question for you, Andy. Have you seen Hardcore Henry? I think we asked this before very recently.
Yes.
Have you seen Upgrade?
No.
Okay. The base plot for both Hardcore Henry and Upgrade and Bloodshot are exactly the same thing.
Okay.
And there is still a chance, right, that it's still entertaining. I don't if you're doing it like a plot by numbers, that's okay. John Wick's a plot by numbers, right? It's the execution, and this has a chance to be a pretty pretty good movie. Stars Guy Pearce apparently.
Mm-hmm.
So, can this
and blockbuster magnate himself, Toby Kobo.
I have no idea who that is.
That is the guy who played Doctor Doom in Fantastic Four.
Oh, it is.
Or Four Stick. And I believe his other big blockbuster movie was the Ben-Hur remake.
Yeah. He was very good in Black Mirror in that one episode.
Yeah, no, I think he's a really good actor who just ends up getting like constantly the worst.
Yeah, he's just one of those guys like Garrett Hedlund, where just like, man, Garrett Hedlund's a good actor, but man, he cannot pick projects.
Right. Toby Kobo was also in a movie that I loved but did terrible, called Warcraft.
Oh, okay. Interesting. I think the stakes are pretty low with Bloodshot, and so if the action is good, I think both you and I will be like, yeah, that was a pretty good movie.
Yeah. It's also a directorial debut, so that could be good.
Here, so I think the best case scenario for Bloodshot is a better marketed version of that movie Upgrade.
Mm-hmm.
The worst case scenario for Bloodshot is 2019's Hellboy.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, this could be bad. This could also be the start of something really, really beautiful.
Yes, this is a front runner for our Geek 101 award, most likely to succeed. As in, this can set off the franchise to, a franchise to be very, very successful.
Right. We also know, so one thing of note, this is Sony. Sony is going to be trying real hard to make some kind of franchise.
Right.
They want something. Next, some people were hired to direct the film and then passed on it. And those people were Stahelski and Leitch, who are the directors of John Wick.
Yeah.
So...
yeah, if they took John Wick and made Bloodshot instead, it would have been the most one of the best comic book movies ever, which is a little weird, a little weird to say.
Yeah.
Next up, we do have the most interesting of the Disney live action remakes at the end of March. This is the Mulan live action remake, and Andy, if you've watched any of the marketing and trailers, listeners, you will know that this is not your traditional musical remake. This seems more of the wuxia type Chinese epic film than your classic, mediocre Disney remake or your animated song and dance number Disney film.
Right. This is kind of what I believe the Disney live action remake should be, where they're really changing up something major about the film. They're doing something different.
Yeah, we're having a reason why we're remaking it.
Yeah. This looks really interesting. It is directed by a woman, so that could be good. It's also going to count towards my 52 movies directed by women that I have my own little goal for this year. Okay. But it's got Donnie Yen and Jet Li.
It does?
Yeah.
There are concerns, I think, for any Asian listeners out there, that the lead actress is pro mainland China in the Hong Kong, government in the Hong Kong protests and stuff like that. That's unfortunate. There's nothing they can really, it's worth mentioning, but really nothing else we can really say about it.
What, Ariel? Let's dive into this. Why exactly is there a conflict between mainland China and Hong Kong?
Anyway, let's talk about the next movie, which supposedly is coming out on April 3rd, and that is the movie we mentioned earlier and decided to push the talk to now, The New Mutants, directed by Josh Boone.
Ariel, I will say I fully believe this movie is coming out on April 3rd now.
Oh, you do? You
Yeah,
do? Okay.
there is no way that Disney... This is like one of the last properties Fox had. Disney just wants to get rid of it. Yeah, like there's no way that they invested money in that trailer without making sure that it would actually advertise when it's coming out.
Say that again?
Like, there's no way Disney would have put money into the trailer and the marketing if they had any questions about when it was coming out.
Right.
They just want to be done with it.
I agree. I think that they are not one to just, suffer from the sunk cost fallacy and post things. So I am pretty sure this is coming out on April 3rd. I am getting the same exact vibes we got from the first trailer. The director, Josh Boone, has come out and said that his version of the film is what is coming out in April. I think that's a positive. Because if there's
right, and it totally wasn't at gunpoint by Disney. Metaphorical gunpoint.
Right. If there's anything we know, it's that when the Fox people meddle in their films, the films get worse, not better. Right? You look at something like the 2011 film The Wolverine. That final act with the Silver Samurai Transformer-looking robot, to me, that is undoubtedly the act of a high-ranking Fox, exec, and not, James Mangold's decision.
Right. Now, I will say, apparently, one of the big changes that has been made recently is originally John Hamm appeared at the in the end, playing Mr. Sinister.
Okay, and then it was a ham-fisted way of pushing the plot forward and stuff.
Right, but apparently
for future movies.
But apparently now Antonio Banderas has some kind of role in the movie.
I think he originally had some kind of role in the movie also. So
no, he apparently is the one who replaced John Hamm.
Oh, okay. All right. So I'm thinking of something else.
This is all Wikipedia, guys, so I could be wrong. I could be completely wrong. But this is what Wikipedia is telling me, and Wikipedia is never wrong.
That's true. It is not like I can go in there and change things.
Right.
Anyway, I'm looking forward to this. There is a concern that, one of the characters is traditionally a black Brazilian man, and that is like part of his like core history, and they changed it. But either way, I think this film will be interesting. Josh Boone is most famous. Director Josh Boone is most famous for directing the movie The Fault in Our Stars. It's fascinating that this was his next directorial project.
Yeah, I think it's going to be interesting. I'm really excited for this. I was really excited when I first saw the trailer, and I'm just kind of stoked now. Like, let's go ahead and get this. It's going to be great.
All right, the next the next movie on our list is perhaps the most... No, it's not the most popular movie on this. But that is Scarlett Johansson's Black Widow movie. We do know that she is reprising her role as Natasha Romanoff. The movie does have such stars as Florence Pugh, Rachel Weisz, David Harbour, of course from Stranger Things, and it will feature the villain, the Taskmaster. We did get a recent trailer. Andy, what are your thoughts on Black Widow?
I'm also really excited about this. This is going to be the first post, well, not really the first, but the first real MCU movie post Endgame. I'm interested to see where it goes. I hope it's much more grounded, that it suits Natalia or Black Widow's power level. We'll see. I'm thumbs up, man. I'm all for it.
You know what's sad, Andy? I totally forgot that Spider-Man Far From Home existed. I literally had to Google MCU movies to find out what came out after Endgame.
Yeah, well, Spider-Man was kind of its own thing, and it happened at the same time. It really overlaps pretty hard. But I'm looking forward to this.
They didn't have their traditional November MCU movie. They usually have a February, a summer. Sometimes they have like February. Their four spots are February, April, July, November. And this year we got that February, early March with Captain Marvel. We got the April with Endgame, and then we got the July with Spider-Man. So no November slot for MCU this year. And of course we are getting instead of the April slot, we're getting that early May with Black Widow.
Yeah. I'm also comfortable taking so much time to kind of let the heat from Endgame die down.
Yeah. I am interested in how they are going to. I'm interested in how people are going to be invested in this movie when we know exactly what happens to Black Widow. I think there is a bit of a concern when you are creating a movie in a specific time where you know exactly what happens before and after.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to see, and we'll definitely be listening to all the listeners telling us if it was great or not. Right, listeners, you'll let us know. Let us know what you think.
A movie that I'm sure we will hear from the listeners about. This is the Fast and Furious 9 movie. I can't believe we've gotten 9 films out of this franchise. Andy, what are your thoughts on the Fast and Furious franchise, really quick?
Well, my first thought is we have 10 movies, Ariel. You are forgetting about this year's Fast and Furious Presents Hobbs and Shaw. Next, this franchise, it's gonna be great. I'm buckled in. Day one. Let's just fucking do this. This is gonna be a great way to continue a franchise, and it could not disappoint me in any way.
All right, let's move on. Wonder Woman 1984, which comes out early June. We had the trailer, which was very 80s, but probably only in wardrobe and music choices. Andy, your thoughts on Wonder Woman 84?
I mean, I feel kind of like this is just going to be a by-the-numbers superhero movie, and I'm okay with that. I'm really interested in what Pedro Pascal's doing. I'm really interested if they're going to do anything with the 80s setting, that makes it important that it took place in the 80s.
I don't think so.
And I really want to see what the design for Cheetah is going to be.
So that is the only thing that really interests me in this film. I think this will be the inverse of the Wonder Woman movie that we first got in whatever year that was, 2016, I think. I think I won't like the first 2/3 of the movie, but I think I will find whatever they're doing with Cheetah to be like cool and visually appealing and stuff. Where I really, really enjoyed the first 2/3 of Wonder Woman, and then as soon as this insane like CGI nonsense happened, and she gets her powers from her emotions like the Dark Phoenix.
Man.
So I am not optimistic on Wonder Woman. I certainly don't think it'll be a train wreck. I think it'll just be like, oh yeah, Wonder Woman 84 was fine, and I really like this part of it. C+.
That works.
Yeah.
That's a good prediction.
Yeah. What's terrible is that like I could have said that about Wonder Woman, Aquaman, and Shazam, and they'd all be like just about spot on. I would love for a DC movie to come out and me to just be like, wow, that was great. Hasn't happened yet, and it's quite possible with them moving on from Zack Snyder.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We'll see. It's going to be interesting. This is, I think, the first like full post Zack Snyder movie created in the DCEU.
Okay. Yes. Shazam
because
was
Joker isn't really DCEU.
Right. Was Shazam at all attached to Snyder?
I don't think so. But I think that Shazam had enough, there was enough overlap, right, with the pre-planning and the development of Shazam.
Yeah.
That we'll see. This could be interesting. This could be DC really and truly reinventing itself.
I think that is absolutely possible. I think that's more possible with Birds of Prey than it is with this Wonder Woman movie.
I keep forgetting about Birds of Prey. Yeah, that too.
I think we'll be like, oh, Wonder Woman. I think there's a chance that Birds of Prey comes out and I love it and you love it. And we look back and we look at Wonder Woman and be like, oh, Wonder Woman seems like it was part of the old regime and maybe Birds of Prey is the new wave. I think let's talk about DC another time. We talk about them all the time. Let's move on. Oh, we skipped a movie somehow. Artemis Fowl, which comes out at the end of May.
All right. This could be most disappointing.
Yeah, this is an adaptation of the popular, let's call it young teens book series featuring a boy genius who discovers the existence of magical creatures such as fairies and leprechauns and centaurs and whatnot. There are a couple of changes from book to movie that are not playing over well with fans of the series. Andy, I think, if I'm correct, you and I are both big fans of the Artemis Fowl series.
Yeah. Artemis Fowl is great.
Yeah, what are your thoughts on this? This to me could be both most disappointing and worst movie.
I honestly, I think it's probably going to end up like a Chronicles of Narnia or, any other Disney franchise or young adult franchise that it's going to be Maze Runner. Like it's going to be a blip. It's going to be fine, but it's not going to do anything special and people will forget about it. That's my fear. I want it to be good, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. Next up, we do have the Ryan Reynolds movie whose trailer just dropped a few weeks ago. That is Free Guy, where he plays a non-playable character in a video game that gains, let's say, sentience and starts playing the game that he has been coded into.
This looks great.
Yeah, this could be, if it weren't for the trailer, right? This could be the where the heck did this come from award.
Yeah. There are a few things that I want to note about the director that are both causes for concern, but also maybe not that much concern. Okay. These are the following movies this director has made. Big Fat Liar.
Oh.
Cheaper by the Dozen. The Pink Panther. Night at the Museum, 1, 2, and 3.
Okay, the first one's an enjoyable movie.
Real Steel.
Oh.
The Internship. And this is where I leave you. Now, something to consider, though, he was also a producer on Arrival and Stranger Things.
To me, producer means nothing.
Right.
Until after you watch the movie and you can kind of see. So I think you have to look at something like Steven Spielberg's producer work on Raiders. Nope. George Lucas' producer work on Raiders. And then you look at something like Peter Jackson's producer work on District 9.
Right. He also directed a lot of Stranger Things, it seems like.
Oh, that's different.
Honestly, what this filmography is telling me is that he might have started out as a director for hire.
Okay, and for this concept?
And then for a lot of things like Cheaper by the Dozen, Big Fat Liar, right? Like these are movies that you don't really have a passion for, but you get paid and you do that. The idea, though, that he did a little bit of work on Arrival, he did a little bit of work on directed a bunch of episodes of Stranger Things. I think this might be a director who's finally getting the freedom to do something he wants to do.
Yeah, there's a chance there. I think that this movie could end up being it's like, oh man, this was a cool concept, but it's kind of like Pixels.
Yeah. Speaking of Pixels, actually, Qbert is going to appear in this movie.
Okay.
Qbert is in the movie Pixels. Here's the thing about this movie, though. YouTube personality Jacksepticeye will portray Qbert.
I don't know what that means, Andy. You're just saying words at this point.
Okay, well, it is a popular streamer.
Okay. Um, I think I hate being a downer. It's just that when you look back, we're covering a lot of movies. We're talking about a lot of movies on this. Most movies are not good. And I think we have to preface that. And I think the best movies on this list we have yet to just get to on it. So I don't want to seem like we're like super down on things. I've just seen too many movies like Free Guy where the concept is cool and the execution is just not there.
Yeah, well, we'll see. I'm definitely excited for this. I think it could be really, really interesting. The one of the writers did do the Avengers movie, so
okay, all right. That also to me that also means
right. The concept could be great.
Well, no, I think we have to learn as people who look at people who write and produce things that your name being attached to something as a writer or producer means almost nothing.
Sure.
Because it could mean that you literally change 2 words on the script and they've got to put your name on that list. It's the way that Hollywood has decided to assign titles is complete nonsense. And I think the more documentaries you watch, the more you know that people just give their friends jobs. And that, let's say I think the majority of people working on these big films, with high titles, let's use this word, right? With high titles, are not good at their jobs.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that. I do think this guy, Zach Penn, though, seems like he's the real deal. He's got a lot of really interesting writing credits, including X2. The Incredible Hulk.
Yeah, but he also wrote The Last Stand.
Yeah, he did. He also wrote Ready Player One, Ariel.
Oh my god!
Didn't you love that movie? Wasn't that your favorite movie that really accurately adapted how people play video games?
The fact that he wrote Ready Player One, completely plummets my confidence in this movie.
I know.
That's wow. But like I said, we have no idea. We have no idea what it's going to be like. We have to watch it. Let's move on.
And Ariel has committed to seeing this movie in theaters. I didn't say that. Day one.
Ghostbusters Afterlife. A lot of people didn't like this trailer. I thought it was fine. I don't see what's wrong with this trailer.
Yeah, me either. I really kind of dug it. It does seem a little tonally confused.
Okay, how so?
Is it going to be a horror movie? Is it looking for a comedy? It's just a little off as far as its tone goes, but I don't know. I think it could be great. I also liked the question you posed about how people would react if Finn Wolfhard wasn't in this.
Yeah, I think tonally it really matches the Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. I really hope it commits to being that level of scary where, if you've got a 13-year-old, you feel 100% comfortable in bringing a 13-year-old to watch this movie while being absolutely comfortable in saying it's a horror movie. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. I think that there's a chance that this can be very good, and there's a chance that it could just be just fine. But the trailer, you watch the last Ghostbusters reboot with Melissa McCarthy and Kate McKinnon and stuff. That trailer looked horrendous, and to me, this trailer did not look nearly as bad as that.
Yeah, the Ghostbusters movie with Kate McKinnon was fine.
Okay. All right. Next up, we have one of the most anticipated films of the year for many people, not necessarily myself, but perhaps for you, Andy. That is Christopher Nolan's Tenet, which comes out July 17th of 2020.
Right. For one thing, I want to see Robert Pattinson in more stuff, so this is great. After watching The Lighthouse, I'm all aboard the Robert Pattinson train. I was before, but now I'm triply on it.
Okay.
Also, Denzel Washington's son. I want to see him in more stuff. And Nolan, at least, is always interesting.
Okay. Yeah, I certainly agree with that. But, and so here's the thing. It can be this movie to me will either be like Inception level or Interstellar level.
Right.
And if it's Interstellar level, where, wow, cool visuals, interesting plot ideas, what do you do? What are you doing? I don't know if those are the reviews. Like, is it even worth watching? For me.
Well, you have to watch it in IMAX, Ariel.
No, I don't, Andy. You severely underestimate how little I
trailer.
care.
The trailer literally said, "Go see this trailer in IMAX for full effect."
If I'm gonna watch the movie, it's gonna be in IMAX. But if everyone is if the buzz is saying, well, he did it again, Interstellar, right? Or he did it again in Inception. That's the inverse positive thing there. This has the chance to be great. Andy, what is the general premise of Tenet?
I don't know. Nobody does.
I think there is a time is moving backwards thing. But
yeah.
he likes to be so, and he is, to be fair, right? But he tries to show off how clever he can be through filmmaking. And sometimes he nails it, and sometimes it's a swing and a miss. I mean, that's who he is, and I think there's a lot of value in him trying to do that. He is certainly in the top, let's say, tier of filmmakers.
Yeah, particularly this generation, he's definitely up there.
Yeah, but I mean, there's a way Interstellar works, but I don't.
Yeah, it just isn't the way that made it to the screen.
Right, and so that's the fear for Tenet. That's the fear for it. I didn't watch. What's his last movie? About the war.
Dunkirk.
Did you watch that?
Nope.
Yeah, if it's not like sci-fi-y, it doesn't. I can't get myself to go to the theater for it. But Tenet will certainly be on our radar, undoubtedly, as July comes along. The next film is my least anticipated film on this list by a mile and a half. Andy,
really?
I can't stand.
I would have thought the one after this would be.
No, I like train wrecks, and I know the next one's going to be a train wreck of a different sort. Jared Leto's Morbius movie is everything I hate, and I know I'm more negative than Andy, and I know I'm super negative, guys. I know you don't like hearing it, but you gotta give me this one.
I just want to know if this line is going to come out of my mouth while watching this movie in the theaters. Am I being punked right now?
So one, Jared Leto's a trash person. Two, I do not like the unnecessary shoehorning of like movies in relation to an IP like Venom or Gambit or this movie Morbius. And three, I don't think Sony is particularly great at making movies right now. So this is like a trifecta of I just don't know. What are your thoughts on Morbius?
I am. I need to at least see a trailer before I even form thoughts. Have you seen any of Espinosa's previous movies?
Can you list them for me?
Yes. He made Safe House, Child 44, and Life.
No, I haven't watched any of those.
Okay, me either.
Life was the...
Yeah, the Jake Gyllenhaal, everyone thought it was going to end up being a prequel to Venom.
Yeah. Like I said, Jared Leto's a trash person, and I don't want to give money to movies that he's starring in. So, there's my stance on it. This is perhaps the front runner. This and the movie we're going to talk about next are perhaps the front runner for worst movie of the year.
Oh, yeah. I want some kind of sets for like set photos or something, because we got set photos for the next movie.
Okay.
we've got nothing for Morbius.
Yeah. Andy, I think this is going to come out. I think it's going to be terrible because all evidence points to it being terrible. And then Blade's going to come out for the MCU in like 2 years. It's going to be great. And everyone's going to be like, hey, remember the Morbius movie? Yeah, interesting. This isn't in contention for worst. Let's move a little quicker here. The Monster Hunter movie, a movie based off of my all-time favorite game series, directed by the immortal, what's his name? Paul
Anderson.
Paul W.S. Anderson.
Right. This is not P.T. Anderson. This is not Academy Award winning P.T. Anderson. This is Paul W.S. Anderson.
Yes, the film stars Mila Jovovich, who is Paul W.S. Anderson's wife. So, for those of you who don't know, Monster Hunter is a video game franchise in which you play a member of a village and guild that hunts down these like big creatures and dragons and monsters and giant insects and birds and whatever to like protect your town and get supplies and like, you know, get bone broth and armor and stuff, you know, supplies for your village. And you like grab plants and do these things, and you have bows and like crossbow guns, but like no guns. The movie, however, has decided that a United Nations military team, which don't exist, falls into a portal to an alternate world, the Monster Hunter world. So it's going to be like regular soldiers in the Monster Hunter world, which I think is a terrible way to do this. The film stars Mila Jovovich, of course, who's the director's wife, in the lead. It stars Tony Jaa, who is best known for his Protector movies, this Muay Thai, very, very, very good physical martial arts actor. Not great. Not a great actor. T.I. is in this, who most recently you would have seen in the Avengers, or the Ant-Man movies, rather. Ron Perlman is in this film.
And Ron Perlman has never done anything for a paycheck. He always commits 100%. Both of those are actually kind of true. He does things for paychecks, but he always commits.
You do have to give him credit there. Paul W.S. Anderson has directed such films as the '02 Resident Evil, the '04 Alien vs. Predator movie, a couple of Resident Evil sequels, that Pompeii movie which starred Kit Harington, Death Race. It's not like, you know what movie I would have loved to see? George Miller's Monster Hunter.
Oh, yeah.
Not this. Paul W.S. Anderson's best film is Mortal Kombat from '95.
Well, you know what? That means he's overdue for something good. And, Ariel, we're overdue for a 15-year retro review.
Of what?
Of Mortal Kombat from '95.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that, actually. I'm just so.
Andy, a 25-year retro
25,
review.
yeah.
I can't do math.
Andy, you're not going to say it. I don't want you to say it. This, I think, is the most likely movie for me to walk out of on this list. Nah, I might not watch it, but I think it's on your list of movies I might walk out of.
I won't say, Ariel. We'll find out on January 1st, 2021.
The next up, we have the Kingsman prequel film, The King's Man, starring Ralph Fiennes. I'm just hoping he's reprising his role as the character from Grand Budapest Hotel. Thoughts on The King's Man, Andy?
Dude, it looks cool. It looks really cool. I think that Fox might have delayed it due to 1917.
Yeah, same time frame, stuff like that.
Yeah, World War I, and they didn't want to get compared to it. I don't know. I'm pretty much in on these Kingsman movies. I'm in on anything Matthew Vaughn really does, so let's do it.
He is directing this one. So is Ralph Fiennes, Gemma Arterton, Rhys Ifans, Daniel Bruhl, Jimon Honshu, Charles Dance. Okay, interesting cast. I think this will be better than the second Kingsman film, but the Golden Circle, but still worse than the first one.
Probably.
Yeah. Okay. Next up, we have Last Night in Soho. Andy, tell us about this movie.
Okay, Last Night in Soho is an upcoming psychological horror film directed by Edgar Wright. And that's all I needed to know to add this to the list to guarantee that I'm going to be watching this movie.
Yeah, I don't think we have to say anything else. This is in contention for best movie of the year. Edgar Wright hasn't made a bad movie yet. You would know him from Scott Pilgrim, Baby Driver, The World's End, Shaun of the Dead, and Hot Fuzz. You can argue that Baby Driver is his worst film.
And that's still a great film.
That's crazy. That movie was in my top 3 of that year with Logan and Get Out.
Yeah. So, I mean, this can't be bad, and I'm not... this is the first time I'm saying this truthfully. I don't see how this film can disappoint me.
Agreed. I think he is too good a filmmaker. He has not failed us in a way that like Nolan has. He doesn't do movies for paychecks like Spielberg does. I don't know. You know, he's so stylized and special and picky. He reminds me a lot of who's the Grand Budapest Hotel director?
Wes Anderson.
He reminds me a lot of Wes Anderson, where you know exactly what type of movie you're going to get. You know exactly what type of camera work and style and wit he will bring. You just have to wait for him to choose what kind of movie he's going to make.
Yeah. So we're doing this movie. We're doing an episode on this movie. Sorry, listeners, if you don't have to listen if you don't want to.
Next up, we have Venom 2. Do we know who's directing Venom 2?
Andy Serkis.
Okay. There was a chance I was not going to watch it. Now I think I have to watch it.
Yeah. I mean, Woody Harrelson. Did you see that wig at the end of Venom 1?
Oh, Andy, I think, to me, this is the movie highest on the list of films I will walk out on.
Okay.
Right.
I mean, you can think that. I have my 100% accurate list of films you're going to walk out of.
Next up, we have the G.I. Joe Snake Eyes movie, which is another movie on the list of films I might walk out of.
Ariel, actually, really quick, I want to do another movie that seemed to miss my first pass.
Sure.
This is The Witches by Robert Zemeckis.
Okay.
This is a remake of a Roald Dahl book.
Roald Dahl books adaptations are a little hit or miss.
Right. Robert Zemeckis, you might remember as being a very visual filmmaker from such great films as Back to the Future, and then, God, so many great and terrible movies. Castaway,
That's the
Polar
thing,
Express, Monster House, Beowulf. Like,
Beowulf is not good.
Right. But this is the reason why I bring this film up, is it was written by Guillermo del Toro.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean anything. Guillermo del Toro will put his name on anything.
Right. But it's going to be interesting. Those of you who might remember the 1990 film called Witches that gave you nightmares as a kid. It's a remake of that, so this could be really scary.
Is this going to be a kid's film?
I mean, it's based on a Roald Dahl book.
If this is a kid's movie, this could end up being music by Alan Silvestri, who did the Avengers. I mean, it stars Anne Hathaway, Octavia Spencer, Stanley Tucci, and Chris Rock. Is it animated?
I don't think it is.
I don't think it is either. This could be interesting.
Right.
Now, Robert Zemeckis does not invoke the most confident of visions, I suppose, in regards to his last movie was Welcome to Marwen. And a couple of his movies that are not based in reality, I think are not good. Mostly, right? Castaway is good. Forrest Gump is good to most. Back to the Future, of course, while has time travel, is still based in like a very normal reality. He's got ups and downs. We will see.
I guess you never watched the 1990 Witches, Ariel, did you?
No.
Yeah, this is like one of the kids movies that's like terrifying, like Return to Oz.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, but it's basically like kids run into a hotel and all of a sudden like, oh, these are witches. And I mean, these are ugly witches. These are terrifyingly ugly witches, but they're also members of society and they put on their glamour and it was a terrifying movie. It could be good. It could be bad. This could be right up our alley. Like this could be the next Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark.
Sure, absolutely. This could win the "Where Did This Come From" award.
Yep. All right, now it's time, Ariel. Let's do Snake Eyes.
Snake Eyes, Andy. Your thoughts on this movie?
Henry Golding. I'm done. I'm in.
You're in? No,
dude. I can watch that man do anything.
Yeah, but you're not gonna see his face.
How do you know?
Because Snake Eyes doesn't take off his mask.
Oh, well, Ariel, you're right. Movies are famous for following characters' motivations completely.
Yeah, but then, you look at something like Dredd, you look at The Mandalorian, you look at all these things, the Snake Eyes in this last G.I. Joe movie. Yeah, you saw him as a kid, but, it would be strange to hire someone so handsome and just stick him behind a mask.
Well, what do you think of Andrew Koji?
Andrew Koji? I have no idea. Who's Andrew Koji?
He's going to be playing the villain.
Storm Shadow. Put some respect
Storm Shadow.
On his name.
He's famous for being in Fast Furious 6 as undercover police and stunt double.
Great. I don't care. My new motto in life is that the inclusion of something I like does not mean your movie will be good.
Oh, Andrew Koji is actually famous for being in the lead role in Warrior.
Okay.
The Bruce Lee-ish TV series.
If this movie is terrible and we just watched Venom 2 and that was terrible, I'm not watching this movie.
Fair enough. Ariel, that is fair enough. But I am committing to seeing this movie.
Absolutely. The next movie I am 100% going to watch, and that is the MCU film, the November slot this time, The Eternals.
Dun, dun, dun.
I think there's not much left to say for this movie. We are going to watch it.
There's zero to say. It's going to be great.
I don't know if it's going to be great, but I'm incredibly interested.
My personal prediction is this is going to wow people like Guardians of the Galaxy. And the reason why I'm excited for this is a team I know nothing about.
Okay. I know a little bit about them.
Right. Like this is something I'm just excited because it's going to be all new.
Sure. Andy, you are a very optimistic person. I am in the camp that, even something like the MCU, things can still be bad. I mean, I will put faith in Wes Anderson. I'll put faith in somebody like Edgar Wright. I'll put faith in a Guillermo del Toro movie that he has decided to make himself, right? But in things like The Eternals, even where there's a little bit of a question as to the source, the MCU does not bat 1,000 despite being pretty good overall. There's a chance. There's no chance that I won't watch it, but there's a chance it's not great.
Ariel, are you aware of what the week the Eternals is going to hold?
What? I am not.
Well, Ariel, it's
probably, but
the first weekend in November. Ariel, November 2020. If you're an American, you know what's coming up after November 2020. So Ariel, I need this to be good.
Okay, let's move on to a movie, Godzilla vs. Kong, the most unnecessary of monster mashup movies. Your thoughts on Godzilla vs. Kong?
I need this to be good.
I think this is another candidate for I will not sit through the whole thing.
We'll see. We'll see. I have 3 movies, Ariel.
Okay.
3 movies that are saved to a Google Doc that will not be opened until January 1st, 2021.
Here is my thing, Andy. I need somebody to watch it and them to tell me that the best action scenes are not seen in the trailer. If that's the case,
I will tell you that, Ariel.
Yeah, but I'd like for somebody to do that before. I'd like for both of us to watch opening weekend. But
Right.
that was what frustrated me most about the last one, is that all the visually interesting stuff was gone already. And so, if your stuff isn't visually interesting and you have a movie with giant monsters, what value do you have? Next up, as we finish out the movie list, and we'll go quickly through TV, Raya and the Last Dragon, a Disney movie, not Pixar, correct, Andy?
Right. This is Walt Disney Animation, which, I mean, is pretty much Pixar. Like, let's be real.
Well, yeah, but I think tonally, a lot of the Pixar movies are very different. They challenge, they want to do different things than the animated Disney wants to do.
Right. But, I mean, Disney gave us Moana, so.
Sure. Yeah. We're going to watch it. Undoubted.
With Golden Globe winner Aquafina, by the way.
Yeah. The Samaritan. Andy, can you give us a 1-sentence? What is this about?
This is a movie that I just heard about that is about a young boy who discovers that a superhero who he thought was dead and the world thought was dead might still be alive. And that superhero is being played by Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah, interesting. I think Sylvester Stallone is one of the actors who can plausibly play a retired superhero. I think it's interesting. I think this is almost like Brightburn, where you want to try a new spin on a classic trope. And I'm interested. I will definitely keep my eye on this.
Right. It's directed by Julius Avery, who directed Overlord from last year. So this could be good.
Yeah, I was high on Overlord. Our last movie on this list, we have the adaptation of Dune by famed director Denis Villeneuve.
Okay, it's Villeneuve.
Okay, Denis Villeneuve, whatever. This is a movie that. This Eternals, Black Widow, New Mutants are like one of the only 5 movies that I will like. There's no doubt, and Raya the Last Dragon, no doubt 100% of my mind I'm watching this movie.
Yeah.
In theaters.
Oh yeah. This one is probably going to be the biggest visual treat of the year, knowing Denis.
Right. And it's even if the movie doesn't make sense, it won't make sense in an infuriating way like Nolan movies don't, right? Like Interstellar.
Right.
You're just like, the plot. You will come away thinking, the plot was kind of weak, but man, that film looked cool. Like, we don't know if the plot's gonna be weak. I haven't read Dune. Have you, Andy?
Nope.
But maybe we do. Maybe that's a big book. I don't want to commit to that. But I'm incredibly interested.
Yeah. I mean, Ariel, this cast: Timothée Chalamet, Oscar Isaac, Josh Brolin, Stellan Skarsgård, Dave Bautista, Zendaya. Like, it just goes on and on. Like, I'm excited. I
think it's Zendaya.
Okay, well, I taught you how to say Villeneuve, and you taught me how to say Zendaya.
No, a listener taught me how to say Zendaya because they were mad. I don't know who you were. It wasn't like a regular listener.
Right. Also, Jason Momoa.
Okay, I mean, so physically, it looks like it can be something really fun. It's gonna be really interesting. Yes, I'm. This is the movie I will 100% see. Did you watch Blade Runner 2049?
Actually, I have not, but I love all of Villeneuve's other movies.
I think Blade Runner 2049 would be a much better movie if it was not constrained to being a sequel to Blade Runner. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I just have never been in the mood to watch it. Like I've got it, 4K Blu-ray. Like I just need to be in the right mood to watch it.
Yeah, yeah. All right, that is our list of 2020 movies. Andy, real quick, what is your prediction for most disappointing?
Most disappointing, man. That's not a quick one. I think it's going to be Godzilla versus Kong.
Can it be disappointing? Maybe. I'm going to go on a limb. I'm going to make mine Fast Furious 9.
Okay.
Most surprising.
Most surprising? All right, I'm going full out here, Ariel.
Okay.
I am going as optimistic as I can possibly be. Most surprising is going to be Morbius.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Birds of Prey.
No.
Oh yeah, you're a little high on it. Okay, I'm going to go Birds of Prey.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to go Birds of Prey. Where the heck did this come from award?
Where the heck did this come from award? That's going to be Samaritan.
Yeah. I agree with you there. I also think where the heck did this come from will be a TV show we had no idea was coming out.
Oh, probably.
Worst movie.
Worst movie, I'm going to give this to Artemis Fowl.
I'm going to give it to Morbius.
Actually, you know what? Worst movie, I'm going to go ahead and bet against the underdog and say Bloodshot.
Oh, do you really think Bloodshot's going to be worse than Monster Hunter?
Oh, dude, why did you have to say that? why did you have to remind me? You know what? I'm going to be really negative here. I'm going to say worst movie is going to be Snake Eyes.
Oh, interesting. I don't think we can count Monster Hunter. I think we know exactly what that movie is going to be.
No. We know what it's going to be. Like, this is the Fast and the Furious, but for even more of a B movie.
Yeah. Let's remove Last Night in Soho.
Yeah.
What is the best movie of 2020?
The best movie of 2020. I think it's going to be Dune.
I'm going to take a shot. I'm going to say Eternals.
Okay.
Just because I wanted to pick Dune, and I think we should have different answers.
Okay.
But yeah. Okay. We're going to list the TV shows. And then we're going to get out of here.
Okay.
Outsider, an adaptation of a Stephen King story.
Yeah. It looks scary as all get out.
Starring Jason Bateman and Ben Mendelsohn.
Whew.
Star Trek Picard. Andy, are you a Trekkie?
I am not a Trekkie, but I'm interested in this.
I don't know if I'll watch it. I'm not a Trekkie, and I have no interest.
I have written it down in this Google Doc. I am committing to watching it.
Fair enough. Lock and Key, the Joe Hill adaptation of a comic book.
Yep. Getting a little weirded out that we don't have a trailer yet. It comes out in a month.
Yeah, I liked the premise of the comic book of like a haunted house with a key mechanism and stuff. I didn't like the art of the comic book, so I didn't finish it. Andy, you wrote this down. I have no idea what it is. Mythic Quest: Raven's Banquet.
Okay. Ariel, do you remember at E3 the announcement of It's Always Sunny, but in a game dev studio?
No, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay, this is one of the guys from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Basically, that meets The Office in a game dev studio. It's an Apple Plus TV show, comes out in February.
Okay.
God, it's not Charlie Day, and it's the other one, Mac.
I have no idea. I don't watch It's Always Sunny. So.
Okay,
This is more.
It's The Office in a game development studio.
This is way up more your alley than mine.
Yeah.
So next up, we do have the Snowpiercer TV show. Andy, do we know where that is airing?
So it keeps jumping between TBS and TNT.
There's no chance I'm watching this. None.
It's already been renewed for a second season.
Well, that's interesting.
I'm actually really the trailer looked really cool. It is going to be TNT.
Okay.
The trailer looked really cool.
Next up, Devs. What is this, Andy?
This is Alex Garland's new show starring Nick Offerman. And that's all I need to know is it's Alex Garland and it takes place it's going to be airing on FX.
Okay. Okay, that is encouraging. FX has good high production stuff. Alex Garland is an excellent creator.
Oh, it's also going to be on Hulu as well.
All right.
Yeah.
Next up, we do have Stargirl, which will be premiering on DC Universe. Andy, we have since canceled DC Universe, so if the buzz is good for this, maybe we come back.
Oh yeah, dude, I have DC Universe, so
well, I have canceled DC Universe.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Interesting.
Luke Wilson, he's going to be a big role in this. The trailer looked kind of cool, and Greg Berlanti without the budget constrictions of CW.
So for those of you who maybe recognize names, maybe watch some old Justice League Unlimited stuff, you've got Luke Wilson as Stripe, which is the big silver robot that walks around with Stargirl. You've got Lou Ferrigno as Lou Ferrigno Jr., son of famous Hulk, as the Hour Man, which is a character whose costume is cooler than his concept. You have Joel McHale as Starman, the predecessor to Stargirl. So a couple of really cool actors they've gotten to surround this character as in recurring roles and not just like a one-off but not a starring role. Interesting. Amy Smart is in it, and that's kind of it there. So interesting. Next up, we have two Disney Plus originals in Falcon and Winter Soldier and WandaVision. WandaVision was supposed to come out in 2021, but has been since confirmed for coming out in 2020.
Yeah, that makes me a little hesitant about the quality, right? Are they rushing it because they want to, they're answering the calls that Disney Plus didn't think its rollout strategy well enough? Or is it because, one of the main actors was canceled and now we can bump up the schedule completely?
Right. I think it's that. I don't think they care because Disney does not move from a position of weakness. They are not a reactionary franchise. They're not Warner Brothers.
Right.
They've got the cachet to do whatever it is they want to do.
Yeah.
In my opinion, anyway.
So we'll see. We'll see.
Lovecraft Country. Can you tell us a sentence or two about this, Andy?
It's based on the book. It's a Lovecraftian horror set in the South. It's going to be on HBO, and Jordan Peele created this.
Anytime you say something is set in the South, I get scared. Not you, anyway.
Right.
And then if you add Jordan Peele to it, my interest jumps 1,000%.
Right. This is pretty. I mean, it seems like it's a pretty much all black cast. You've got Michael K. Williams, who I am a huge fan of from The Wire.
Yeah, and it's funny because like H.P. Lovecraft was like a terrible racist person, and so it's funny that they're kind of like taking this power back from his name and stuff. Few here we have. Go on.
This is set in the 1950s across Jim Crow America, so this could be great.
Yeah, that's why it is so interesting. And I expect crazy supernatural monster stuff happening to invoke the name of Lovecraft. We have the Brian K. Vaughan comic book adaptation, Why the Last Man. Yep. I will believe this comes out when I see it.
We have seen a press photo.
Yeah, but no. So
Right. I
we've
know.
we've seen we've seen Ezra Miller in the Flash costume. This I do not believe gets made until the season is out somewhere.
Right. I can completely understand that. They've lost so many showrunners and directors and whatever. So we'll see. We'll see.
We'll see. What is Dispatches from Elsewhere?
Okay, this is an anthology series with Jason Segel. It's seems to be it's an AMC show. It's it's a group of ordinary people who stumble across a puzzle, being able to see another dimension kind of thing. It looks pretty cool. It's I believe it's airing it's airing on March 1st, so we'll see.
All right. Next up, we do have Space Force. Andy, tell us about this.
This is The Office. It has Steve Carell himself. It's going to be a Netflix original. It's literally about the creation of the Space Force. The fifth branch of the military, the Space Force.
Oh no.
We don't know much more than that. It's The Office, but military.
My worry here is that there are going to be too many TV shows that come out that say this is The Office, but in
Right. It does have Steve Carell attached to it, though.
Yeah, to me that doesn't mean much. The last thing we have here is an animated Amazon original series based off of my favorite comic book, Invincible, written by what's his name, Andy? Kirkman, Robert Kirkman, thank you, and drawn by Ryan Otley. The comic book is a bit of a deconstruction of the superhero genre. It is uber violent at times, and a awesome deconstruction of the Superman mythos also. So it is, I can't recommend it enough. I'm very excited for it. I think with animation that we've seen in things like Spider-Verse and even something like Moana and Coco and stuff like that, this can be good. I'm still wary, but this can be good.
Right. Not only can this be good, but it's the first season is 8 episodes.
Yeah, and there are plenty of arcs that it can go, and I think, Andy, you've read Invincible?
Yeah, dude. I'm so excited.
I think both you and I know exactly how this first season is going to end.
Yep.
And I am hyped. As long as the animation looks good,
right?
You have to watch. If you're interested, you have to watch till the end. You have to, because much like The Witcher, right? Where I just watched it, where some of the episodes aren't great. The world is kind of cool, but maybe the plot moves along in the second season. I can totally see that being the reaction towards Invincible, but with a better ending.
Yeah. Interestingly, this is interesting. They're claiming that they're 60-minute episodes.
Okay. 8 60-minute episodes?
Right. So that's kind of interesting. Who knows if that's actually going to be the case, but this cast is out of this world.
Yeah, can you give us a couple of names?
Okay, you've got Stephen Yeun, who you might remember as Glenn from The Walking Dead. Remember Glenn and how happy Glenn was?
So, fun thing here, the mom in Invincible can be viewed as an Asian American woman.
Uh-huh.
The dad looks like Tom Selleck, right? He's, who's the dad played by? Is it J.K. Simmons?
It's J.K. Simmons.
Awesome voice.
Yeah.
The mom can be seen as Asian, so they can make the main character, half Asian.
Right. And J.K. Simmons, you might recognize from such great things as Spider-Man as J. Jonah Jameson. Whiplash as the asshole teacher. You might also recognize him as the white supremacist from Oz, or more importantly for us as geeks, and to show his voice acting cred, Tenzin from Korra, the last Avatar Korra.
Interesting. I didn't realize that.
Yeah. So J.K. Simmons is a prolific voice actor, a prolific actor, but the cast doesn't stop with that. The
Give me
cast
some more,
continues.
Andy.
Mark Hamill.
As
we don't know yet, but Mark Hamill.
Okay.
I'm guessing he's going to be Cecil.
No, I'm guessing he's going to be Langstrom.
Oh, or what about Robot?
Maybe.
Yeah, we'll see. Seth Rogen.
As whom?
No clue. We don't know any of these cast members now.
Rex, probably.
Yeah, I can see that.
Okay.
Gillian Jacobs.
Do we know if she's the mom?
No. Sandra Oh is the mom.
Oh, the mom's definitely Asian.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Well, we don't know what Sandra Oh is playing, but I mean, come on. If you're having Steven Yeun,
Right. It would be nonsense.
right?
It would be just make him Korean. Could be awesome.
Right. Then we have someone whose name I don't recognize, but he's a singer. Is Andrew Rannells.
Okay. Well,
The Book of Mormon.
there are plenty of interesting characters. Invincible is my favorite comic.
Yeah.
If you are a fan,
Walton Goggins, Jason Mantzakis, Mae Whitman, who go back to Avatar: The Last Airbender. She's
Mae Whitman was also in Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah, and Scott Pilgrim and Arrested Development. This is such a great cast. I'm so excited.
Mantzoukas is gonna be. Who's gonna be?
No idea.
I think Rex. I think Rogan plays the best friend, William. I think. You know what? Let's get out of here, Andy. It's been an hour 15 or so, one of our longer episodes since Andy's joined the show, but plenty to talk about, plenty to look forward to in 2020. Best TV show, worst TV show out of what we've got here.
Best TV show.
Let's not even do worse. What do you think will be the best TV show on this list?
Best TV show, man. I've got to go with Lovecraft Country.
Yeah, there's a really good chance it's the best TV show.
That's a great pedigree.
Maybe Outsider.
Yeah, we'll talk about it in a few weeks.
Yeah, we will. All right. Long episode. Everything you've listened to here is homework. We won't do homework. We'll do homework next week. So, Andy, let's get out of here. Where can people find you online?
You can find me online on Twitter at Hebrews Paleo.
You can find me at Dread Pirate Roddy. You can find us at Geek 101 Podcast on Twitter and Facebook and Patreon. Email us geek101pod@gmail.com. That's all we have for today. Class dismissed.
All right.